What is up, guys, and welcome to Just the Heroes Light Novel Corner. As per usual, after finishing a ReZero light novel volume, I give a little afterthought / review video on my thoughts and opinions on the volume and all the things that transpire in this volume. In this video, I'm going to make it a little more formulated or formulatic. I don't know what the word is, but we're going to be going through chapter by chapter. So chapter 1 of the light novel all the way through 5, and we'll go through all the events. I'll leave my thoughts and opinions, my afterthoughts, and my analysis all in this video. So without further ado, let's just jump right into ReZero, volume 17. I wish this volume had a name, that'd be cool, but I guess we'll call it The Witch Cult's Attack on Pristella. Alright, so starting off at chapter 1, casually comparing answers. This was the beginning of the story where Subaru's trying to figure out what's going on. He realizes the witch cult's there and he only has 15 minutes, so he has to figure out how he's going to get some help, how he's going to beat these guys within the short time frame he has within his return by death. Now this was pretty crazy because this is the shortest time frame we've ever seen Subaru get. Like 15 minutes is insanity. Like I've never seen anything that low in ReZero. It seems like Satella's in a mood, she on a period or some shit, but she don't want this man freaking having it easy like he always did. I don't know, maybe it's because it's been a year since he died. She's like, nah, fuck you, you get 15 minutes now. But he goes over and he tries to get Reinhardt's help, which I thought was a great idea at first. But then of course we got our boy Reinhardt. He pulls up, he does beat Cyrus, and Subaru does get to save the kid who Cyrus captured, which was a Lust Bolt. But the problem was, after Reinhardt ends up killing Cyrus due to her authority, which is absolutely busted. When Reinhardt killed her, everyone died, including Subaru and all the audience, all the people around, and they all died. So after dying, Subaru realizes, okay, so even Reinhardt, the invincible Reinhardt, will not be of any use to us. And I'm like, damn, so we can't use Reinhardt. I'm not surprised, you know, Tape Nagasuki never wants to make it easy for Subaru, so we had to move on and figure out a different plan. This is when Subaru decides that Beatrice was the next option. Beatrice, she's his partner. They have the best teamwork together. Beatrice and Subaru, they can take out Cyrus. That's what I was thinking when I was reading, and that's what Subaru was thinking as well. So then they go over and we're ready to fight Cyrus. And then Amelia pops up as we're deciding our battle plan. As Subaru and Beatrice talk it out, we have Amelia who popped out, which I did not anticipate, honestly. I really just thought she was gonna stay with Liliana and Pristella back at the freaking, I don't remember where they were, at the park. But Amelia ends up showing up. She insists that she must help the fight. Subaru says no, it's too dangerous, but Amelia shows that she is grown, she's strong. And the fact is, Amelia is stronger than Subaru, so at the end of the day, he could use the help. He just doesn't want to put Amelia at risk, which we obviously can understand, but at the end of the day, bro, it's a witch cultist. You need all the help you can get. So Amelia ends up deciding to join, and Subaru has to let her because she won't back down. So we got Subaru, Beatrice, and Amelia going up against Cyrus. And that pretty much concluded chapter 1 of volume 17. Then we jump over to chapter 2, a battle between fire and ice. Now, I really like this chapter, and I really like the direction Amelia is going. This is good. Like, Amelia is freaking sick. But that aside, let's go through the chapter. So, as Amelia joins Subaru, she decides she's gonna fight Cyrus while Subaru goes and tries to save Lust Bolt, who is still in the tower. I've been really impressed with Subaru's ability with the whip, and he feels a lot more useful. Like, Subaru's slowly feeling a lot more like a real combatant that we're like, okay, we got Subaru on our roster. You know, he's not the strongest, but he still has his uses beyond just like moral support or whatever he was before. Like, before he's more like moral support, and he had like abilities that helped against the witch cultists, like Seen Unseen Hand, but now he can actually like capture people, he can take them out. I really do enjoy that. But going back to Amelia versus Cyrus, so Amelia and Cyrus go crazy against each other. Cyrus absolutely despises Amelia due to her being a half-elf, something common here in the ReZero world. I don't know what Amelia did to her, but like she goes in on Amelia. She tells her parents should have never made her, says all this shit about, oh, you should have never been born. And Amelia's like, bitch, I don't give a fuck. I'm here to body you and save these people. That's it. Like, what did I do to you? I'm just here to take you out because you nuts. But she keeps going off, and Amelia's so mature now. Like, this is crazy. Amelia's always been mature, but not only did she mature emotionally and mentally, but also with her magic. So without Puck, Amelia's forced to rely on her own abilities to their full extent. So she makes a whole ice sword. She goes crazy with the ice sword. She uses magic alongside the ice sword. She is crazy, and she's actually getting the upper hand on Cyrus. But of course, Cyrus, as she's getting bodied, you know, they're witch cultists, She grabs a hostage, and then Amelia can't really do anything. She's compromised, and then all of a sudden we have Regulus Corneas, who appears and snatches Amelia. And then Subaru and Beatrice, they save Lustful. They're heading back to the battlefield. Subaru's like, what the fuck's going on? Who is this guy, bro? So Subaru and Beatrice gear up to join this battle that's going on between Regulus and Cyrus. So Regulus and Cyrus are going off on each other for some stupid ass reasons. Like Cyrus is like, I want to kill Amelia. Regulus is like, no, she's my bride. So then Subaru and Beatrice end up joining this fight, which is very, 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 very exciting. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, this was all in like the first 50 pages. I'm like, damn, we are really starting this with absolute heat. So we got Subaru and Beatrice using some new spells. I think it was called, I forgot the name. It's like EMM or EMT or EM something. But basically, Subaru cannot be harmed by like anything. Like nothing can affect Subaru. Like people's hands pass through him. Freaking Regulus couldn't even damage him. It was a pretty OP spell. I'm like, damn. Tape really giving Subaru like some shit that he can actually use in a battle. I thought he was only gonna have shit abilities, but like this novel just keeps proving me wrong. Like I thought Subaru was gonna be shit the whole series. All the abilities he's gonna have are shit, but like these abilities he's learning, his arsenal slowly getting more and more stacked as we go through. But they're using this spell. Subaru gets a good hit in. While they're using the spell, he uses Invisible Providence. He gets a nice right hook, or not a right hook because it comes out of his chest, but he gets a nice chest shot in. Regulus is like, okay, that's a good hit. Cyrus sees it and she's like, oh my god. She breaks down. She starts thinking Subaru is freaking Petal-Goose, and then I'm like, oh my god. Come on, like these witch cultists are so retarded. Like it's crazy. Do they not know? I don't, but this proves that the witch cultists do not know that when one of them dies, their ability transfers over to another suitable vessel. I guess they don't know about that. So when she seen Unseen Hands, she assumed it was Petal-Goose. So she started going crazy about Subaru. Her mood changed. All her rage she had towards Amelia just vanished. Even her arguing with Regulus vanished. And then it just became full on just Subaru focused on Regulus because Cyrus kind of backed off. And she's saying, oh, who's that spirit with you? So she starts talking shit about Betty. And then Betty's getting all the slander, or Beatrice. But fast forwarding a little bit more, Subaru and Beatrice eventually end up losing that fight. Subaru tries chasing Regulus as he says he's gonna go. And then he ends up paying the price because Regulus snatches Subaru's leg. He uses his ability and freaking wipes away Subaru's leg. This guy's ability is just busted. Like he can use it offensively and defensively, and it seems like he's damn near invincible. But I do know there has to be some kind of loophole. But like Regulus so far has the best ability I've seen. Like actually now Cyrus is so busted too though. Like Cyrus can be killed, but the problem is when you kill her, everyone suffers. But Regulus can't be killed, so like they both have their like just witch cultists are always different, man. They're built different. But yeah, chapter ends up with Subaru getting his leg snatched. He's on the floor, and because Subaru got his leg snatched, everyone in the hall lost their legs. So everyone was injured, and then Beatrice is like, fuck, what am I gonna do? Subaru's injured, we gotta help him out. So she goes and tries healing him, and then later on we find out that she helped heal everyone. But that's in the next chapter. Alright, so chapter 3 was Witch Cultist Response Disaster HQ. Now this is a chapter where they're pretty much just setting up, getting ready for the battle to come. Subaru wakes up, he's greeted by the guy with the helmet. Yo, we gonna be talking about We are gonna be talking about man. This guy has so much information, it is insane. It is insane, and the fact he's from Subaru's world, there's so much mysteries around bro. We gotta go, like, that needs to be a separate video. Like, is so sus, bro. Like, he knows too much, but we're gonna talk about that as we go through this. But yeah, so Subaru wakes up. He's told the situation by Ferris, and I think it was or Ferris, one of them. Wakes up in a bed in like a camp where a bunch of people are injured. He learns that the witch cult has took over the city of Pristella. He hears that Beatrice is sleeping. He wakes up and he's like, where's Amelia? Amelia's nowhere to be seen. Ferris freaking is bloodied up. He's just chilling. Like, this guy's chilling all the time, bro. Like, he is always chilling. And then he also learns that some royal candidates are missing. Reinhard vanished. Reinhard's never there when you need him, and then when you need him, he fucks things up. Like, it's like he's so OP, but he still fucks things up, and it's not even his fault. Like, it's crazy. Like, Reinhard's a character who can't even be used. Like, he can't even be used in any situation because it's too much. Everywhere he goes, he steals too much mana, or he kills the person and everyone dies. Like, the author keeps putting Reinhard in like the worst situations, bro. I gotta wonder what's going through this man's head. Like, Reinhard's probably losing it mentally, I'm not gonna lie. But sidetrack aside, Subaru learns all this stuff. Felt's missing. Some of the he also learns that Odo, Garfiel, they're all missing. And then he's told that they're about to do a meeting at the Muse Company to decide what the next move is going to be. Now, Odo's also suspicious. Where's Odo? Like, apparently he was supposed to be at the Muse Company, so they all have a meeting at the Muse Company, and Odo's not there. Like, Odo's kind of sus. Like, I could be tripping, but Odo's kind of sus. Like, why is this guy always vanishing? Like, he disappears. Even in the last story, he vanished for a little while. He came back drunk or whatever. I mean, I guess, but it's like, Odo kind of got me. I don't know, I'm suspicious of Odo. I could be tripping. But yeah, they have a whole meeting basically trying to explain like, yo, what are you gonna do about the situation? We need to gather forces. The Iron Fang members are arriving soon. And yeah, that was pretty much it. Subaru's ready for battle. He wants to save Amelia, but he's also grown. He's not like, no, Amelia, like in season 1. Subaru understands that just saying he wants to save Amelia, they gotta get rid of the Witch of Lust first, because she is the new enemy. She's the one who's out here announcing everything. I think her name's Capella. Her name is Capella. Her name's Capella. So the Witch of Lust is out here announcing, calling everyone meatbags. Like, if I seen this in real life, I'd be shook. But like, when you read this shit, she's low-key funny as fuck. And the attendants to this meeting were Anastasia, Subaru, but yeah, there was a decent amount of attendance. Not the whole royal selection candidates. Some were missing, like Pristella, Felt, Barnard was nowhere to be seen, and yeah, there was some people missing. But at the end of this chapter, we have Garfiel, who barges in, all bloodied up and tattered, holding an injured Mimi, saying, "Guys, it turns out I fucked up." And yeah, that ended the chapter. I'm like, okay, so some shit happened with Garfiel. The brothers did say on the media that something happened to Mimi because we're injured, because they have the blessing of triplets, or blessing of triplets. So basically they take the injury, or the injuries of one of them gets separated throughout 3 of them. So yeah, they could tell their sister, or their sister was in danger. It was a good chapter, good setup into the next chapter, which I really did enjoy, which gives us the backstory on what happened with Garfiel. Alright, so moving on to chapter 4, Gorgeous Tiger. Probably my favorite chapter in this light novel here. This chapter was just jam-packed with absolute heat. Like, this chapter really did good in like characterizing, giving us like the full characterization of Garfiel. Like, Garfield's such a great character. I really love what the author did here, but let's just jump right in. So Garfiel walks throughout the streets, or throughout the city of Pristella. He's still kind of tripping over his loss with Reinhard, which made sense because Garfield's supposed to be the shield of the Amelia camp, and he prides himself in his strength. So the conflict here, pretty much even throughout this whole chapter, is his lack in strength. And that just keeps going throughout the story pretty much. But he's going through the city, he's just walking around. I think Mimi starts following him, and then in the corner of his eye, he keeps hearing voices, or like, he keeps hearing voices in his head, and he keeps looking and seeing Elsa, the first person he'd ever killed in his life, which is crazy. I didn't think the author would ever do something like this with characters like Garfield. This seems like something you would only do for the main character. It's like they're walking to a city, they're haunted by like the last enemy in the last arc they killed. But the author really went in here with Garfield, really made sure to show that psychological trauma, because we gotta remember that Garfield is only 14 and he's going through some fucked up shit, man. Like, he's a beast though. He can take it, but you can see that he's not invincible. It weighs on his mind. He stresses. He feels sad, as he should. But as Mimi and Garfield walk through the city, they see a boat about to crash into another boat that's on a dock, and some kids are playing on it. So Garfield goes and saves them, and they're like, "Yo, what's your name? You're the hero who saved us." And then Garfield's like, "I'm Gorgeous Tiger." And then he had like a whole song or some shit. And then they're like, "Yo, Gorgeous Tiger." Yo, this was just a wholesome moment. Very wholesome moment. Love this moment here. And then the kids decide to take him over to their house for dinner, I believe. Something that lines in that. Garfield ends up, Garfield tries to find their home, and he ends up finding it. He takes them back home, and then he sees their mom, who says, "Oh, you should stay for dinner." He realizes he recognizes her mom, and this is when we find out that Garfield's mom actually went through amnesia. This is like, it's so crazy. Like, Garfield's mom, who we thought died, we all thought she died, went through amnesia and is living a new life with her new family. So technically, or not even technically, these kids he saved were actually his real siblings, just as much as Frederica is to him. So this was a very big reveal. And then her husband, which was, I forgot his name, but her husband, you know, seems like a good guy. He explains the whole story to Garfiel, how he found her and how she didn't have memories from like the last 15 years. And then this all weighs on Garfiel. They try to bring Garfiel back. They say, you should stay. We want to thank you for saving our kids, but Garfiel just can't do it. It's too much for him to be there because it's his mom, man. Like, his mom he thought was dead. His mom who he thought abandoned him. She kind of unwillingly, but she did abandon him. It's all weighing on him. And then he starts breaking down. And it just shows, I'm like, damn. And then we got our poor man Garfiel out here crying. So he cries, and then Mimi's there to comfort him, which I did really enjoy. It was interesting though. I don't know where this came from, but Mimi saying, oh, I love you, Garfiel. I fell in love with you, this, that. I'm like, where is this coming from? Like, see, I guess maybe it's during like the year timescape, but I don't know. It feels off. Like, how did Mimi fall in love with Garfiel? Was it love at first sight? I guess. I mean, ReZero do be doing that. Subaru and Amelia, love at first sight. Either way, Mimi was the GOAT for being there by Garfield's side. Freaking making sure our man was alright. And Mimi's fucking hilarious, bro. I don't remember when it was, but like at one point in the story, she's on, gorgeous tiger, where you going? And then she's, or like, they're like, what's your name? And then she's like, I'm gorgeous Mimi. I'm like, oh my god, this is fucking hilarious. Gorgeous Mimi. Yo, Mimi's fucking hilarious. Mimi's a GOAT. Mimi is a GOAT. But next day, they're walking through the city. Garfield's still down. And then they're approached by the mother of the children. And then she's like, oh, have you seen my children? They went missing. And then he's like, wait, what? And this was right after they heard an announcement of the Witch of Lust, which was Capella. She was saying her usual shit. Meat bags, screw you all, you're all worthless, all that shit. So the timing was just so, like, this timing of her coming was so perfect. So then Garfiel and Mimi, first Garfield's a little hesitant because he's like, damn, I don't need to be getting myself involved with this family. This, that. They're actually my siblings. If their husband dies, because her husband also went to City Hall and apparently didn't come back. Which even at the end of the story, we don't find out if this guy's dead or alive. But so he's like, damn, if her husband dies, then the kids will be sad. So he decides, you know what? For this family, I'm gonna still go out and do my best to protect them. So Garfield goes out and heads out with Mimi, because Mimi just wants to do whatever Garfield does. She just wants to be by his side. She wants to make sure he's alright. So she goes along with Garfield. Then we got them going through the place. And then we got these guys going through. They're ready to fight. They're going to City Hall. They're ready for battle. And then Mimi sees the enemies. So they encounter the enemies. First Garfield encounters them. Mimi comes through. And then they're like, okay, these guys are strong. Mimi's like, we don't stand a chance of beating these guys. Garfield's stubborn. He says, I don't give a damn. I'm going to beat their ass. And then Mimi decides that she's going to stay there. But she says, fine, this is what we'll do. We'll do a quick attack if it does nothing. Or just no matter what it does, we're running after that. Something on the lines of that. So their plan was basically just to get the hell out of there now that they've been noticed. Because the enemies weren't just going to let them run. So they had like a new strategy to get the hell out of there. But yeah, so Garfield starts going in. Garfield and Mimi start going in against these two figures. So we got a big guy, then we got a super agile girl figure. Now, they were supposedly as strong as Elsa according to Garfield, or even stronger. So my argument is he beat Elsa though. And then he got a year of training. That's why I don't understand why he wouldn't have been able to beat them. I don't know, maybe there's something missing there, but like, the Elsa reference wasn't that good because he literally beat Elsa. Oh yeah, he said he didn't have preparation. He didn't have prep time because he didn't know what their fighting style was or anything like that. With Elsa, he had the most prep time in the world. He was like, they did that perfectly. It was like a chess game. So I did see the difference there. Yeah, but because Garfield doesn't decide to listen, Mimi ends up running, and he ends up staying back and fighting both of them. He starts slowly getting bodied. Then Mimi comes back, and then Mimi's like, I told you to run, you idiot. And then he's like, okay, I'll go. You know what? I'm not winning this fight. We gotta go. So he grabs her. I think they jump to the roof or something. And then as they're going away, the female witch cultist freaking launches out like a knife or something and ends up stabbing through Mimi or something. And Garfield doesn't realize it until a little later. As he's holding her, he realizes she's bleeding. And that leads us over to where chapter 3 ended off, which was Garfield rushing into the Muse company, holding Mimi, who was injured. Traumatized by his own weakness, traumatized by his own selfishness, Garfield wallows in his own weakness, and that ends off chapter 4 of The Gorgeous Tiger, which was an amazing chapter, honestly. So good, so good. I appreciated what this did for Garfield, man. Garfiel's just been, he's already been a great character, but this just characterized him even more, man. Gets conflicts, wanting to be the strongest. That's Garfield's only goal, his only ambition. He wants to be a shield, an unbreakable shield that can protect the people he cares about. And it's a noble goal. It's a noble cause. I gotta love it. But then we jump over to chapter 5. Alright, so the final chapter, chapter 5. The operation to retake the hall. Now this, second favorite chapter. This one was a shit show. This was an exciting ass chapter. I'm not gonna lie. This was exciting as fuck. This is probably the best. I'm not gonna say it's the best, but action wise it was definitely the best. Yeah, this was crazy. So Mimi was sent to Ferris to get some healing help. As we know, Ferris is the best healer in the nation, so who else better to go than Mimi? They find out that the cut can't be cured, or can't use magic. Like the wound won't close. The wound won't close, and then Wilhelm makes an interesting connection. He says it's the curse or the blessing of the Reaper. And then they have a little discussion, and Wilhelm's certain. He's like, the only person who could have ever had that is my wife. So, that is crazy. He just dropped an absolute crazy bomb on us right there. I'm like, wait a sec. Really? So, could the one under the hood be Teresa and Anastasia? And then, Subaru was also saying, this is good, your wife might be alive. And he's saying, no, my wife died years ago against the White Whale, or whatever the hell. Something like that. Died years ago. And he was like, this is a disgrace to her life. This is a disgrace to my wife's body, and I will not stand by this. So Wilhelm gets a fire under his stomach. The Iron Fang are here. Julius is here. Everyone is ready to kick some ass. Iron Fang are freaking enraged that Mimi was freaking injured and bodied by these witch cultists. Iron Fang, Ricardo goes over to, he says, thank you, bro. You saved Mimi. And then he's like, what are you talking about? No, I didn't save her. I'm the one who got her injured. And then, whatever, he's going through his thing and he's like, you know what? All right. I did get her injured, but you know what? I'm going to go make them pay. So Garfield gets the fuck up. He's ready to fucking go break some skulls in. And then so everyone's getting ready to fight. Then I's like, I'm going to stay back. I got to go find Princess. I got to go find, what's her name? Pristella. And then everyone's like, yo, what the fuck's this guy doing, bro? We gotta go kill them witch cultists at the city hall. We gotta go take down Lux. But then he's like, he has an interesting, like, it makes sense because he explains like the same way Subaru feels for Amelia, same way he feels for his royal selection candidate. But he does say something that's really interesting and stood out to me. Julius also seems to have heard this. I don't know how, because he calls over Subaru. So he calls over Subaru and he's like, if you ever encounter Gluttony, do not tell him your real name. This was interesting. Also, that reminds me of another moment where during their conversation in the Muse Company, I also refers to, so the witch cult are after the witch bones, but I also refers to the witch that they're talking about or in this situation. He refers to her by her name, Typhoon. He says Typhoon. So then Subaru's like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I seems to have met the witches. Somehow or some way he met the witches. He knew them. And he's like Subaru who came from another world. So like there's so much mystery involving Iman, bro. This guy knows so much. And it's just ironic because later on we do meet Gluttony. So like this guy fully called it. I don't know how, but he called it. It's crazy. Like it's crazy. Eyes nuts. But I decides to stay back. They're like, okay, we gotta do what we gotta do. Let's go head out. They managed to, I think, stop Mimi, or like, I think it was because of the blessing of the triplets that Mimi wasn't dead yet. But yeah, alright, so they got their whole plan. They're heading over to City Hall to retake the city, or to take down Lust, the one who keeps announcing shit. They basically, their first move was just to take down get back the retake. What am I saying take down? Retake the announcer room where Lust is doing all this shit at. Like, take that room, get her the hell out of there, get the Metia so they can get that shit in their control. But they go over, they see the two members of the witch cultists who injured Garfield and Mimi. They're all ready for battle. And then someone else appears, which is the Witch of Lust, Archbishop Capella, something Lagunica. Now, she's a weirdo. And the fact that she also has the name of the royal family, the quote-unquote dead member of the royal family, is very interesting. It feels like the witch's cult is taking figures through history. And then, I don't know what, making them insane. Like, the witch's cult takes figures through different points in history, makes them go crazy, and then adds them in the cult. That's what I've been noticing throughout the entire story. Like, that's their thing. But they're ready to fight. They start fighting. She has a black dragon with her. Capella got some black dragon that's freaking spitting black flames. Crusch is ready to go up. Crusch uses her wind attacks. They go crazy. They battle. It's freaking insane. I'm just so excited. I'm like, yo, this is fucking gas. But then eventually through the battle, Capella's like, okay, I gotta go. I've had enough fun with you guys. She starts flying away. They decide to split up into teams. So we got Garfiel, Ricardo, and Wilhelm, who stay back to fight the two mysterious witch cultists, the big guy and the female. And then we got Julius, Subaru, and Crusch, who go to chase Lust. So they go up, and then they start chasing her. And then as they're going, they're in the attic. I think it was described as the attic. They were somewhere that was like high up. And then they see Gluttony. Gluttony himself. Gluttony himself, the man who took Rem away from us, man. Like, this man took Rem away. I miss Rem, man. Like, but they were greeted by this man, and this guy's just there. He's like, I'm here to kill you guys or whatever. He's like, oh, he just says some crazy shit. Like, I don't remember what he says. He's a witch cultist. He's a lunatic. Subaru absolutely loses his shit. He goes out. He freaking viciously goes for the whip attack. Tries to whip that man's ass. I think he dodges it. Something like that. But Subaru lost his cool. And then he had to make sure they all gave each other like fake names. I think Julius's name, or I think it was Subaru's name. One of their names was Muppet Mage. I think that was Julius. I don't know. I forgot who. But either way, Julius decides to stay back and fight Gluttony because they don't have time to waste with this guy. And they got to keep going. So Crusch and Subaru keep going. Now the team's getting slowly smaller and smaller and smaller. And then Subaru and Crusch go and find the black dragon. So they find the black dragon. They end up crashing through a window because I don't remember what they end up crashing through a window. And then there's a black dragon inside the room. They made it straight into the room with the media. So they came exactly where they want to be. There's this black dragon. Crusch valiantly fights it. She says, oh, when you fight a dragon, gotta go for the wings. She took it out. It fell. It looked like it was dead. And then it seemed like everything was right. And then Subaru's like, he starts hearing things in the other room. And he's like, I thought we just killed the black dragon. We should be good. Something happens. And then Subaru decides to open the door. And then, he hears a bunch of flies. He sees a bunch of damn flies. He sees humanoid-sized flies all buzzing in this huge room. And then he hears a sound behind him. All of a sudden, the witch's lust is there. She's stepping on Crusch, and Subaru's wondering what's going on. What the hell? I thought we had the upper hand here, but he was wrong. So then Subaru goes in an insane fight against freaking Lust. Subaru puts up a better fight than I could ever imagine he'd ever put. Like, they have a little bit of a back and forth. Subaru gets some hits in. It didn't really do damage because it's a whip against like dragon scales and shit. Because she can just shift her body into all types of creatures and shit. Like, she's insane, man. She's actually just busted. And she has these other abilities, like witch cultists or archbishops are too much, man. So she starts putting some like black dragon blood or some weird shit, I think it was black dragon blood, into Subaru's leg that she chopped off because she realized it was injured. And she's like, I might as well grab this whole thing off. I think she bites his whole leg off. Then she puts some black blood into it. Subaru screams in agony. Subaru, I think he starts losing his shit, or like a little bit before that, he also described his love for Amelia because Capella has some weird thing going on where she thinks, oh, men only see lust in women, this, that. And then Subaru explains, no, I love Amelia. Screw you. I'm going to say my speech. He reads a whole speech that's like freaking bunch of paragraphs saying all the reasons he loves Amelia. And then Lust she's like, oh, you're lying. And that's when she puts the black blood. And then that's when something happens. Freaking the black dragon comes back up. And I think it's because it sees Subaru there. But it ignores the fact that Capella's there with Subaru, and it freaking uses black flames and attacks Subaru and Capella, I think. Because Subaru's like, oh, this guy's a tough one. I thought it was Capella who said that first, but then I remembered some comments you guys said the last line was actually Subaru who says that, and it wasn't Lust. The only thing that Lust did was show the little exclamation marks. So she's shocked, and the black dragons engulf the place. And then we got the very end of the story, man. This part made me want to throw up. Straight up, this guy Regulus is asking for his ass beat. So Amelia wakes up, she's naked, and then she walks around with a blanket wrapped around her and wondering where she is. And then she's greeted by Regulus, man, this piece of fucking shit. But yeah, she's greeted by Regulus, and then he's like, oh, my lovely, you're here. Oh, blah, blah, blah. He says all of his nonsense. Oh, I have the right for this, that. And then he's like, Now for the real question. Amelia, are you a virgin? And then I'm like, really, nigga? Like, dude, this is what we're doing? Subaru, where are you, bro? This guy needs his ass beat. And that's what the chapter ends with. Chapter ends with that. Oh my god, man. Like, we gotta stop Regulus, bro. But we're fighting these witch cultists. Gluttony, lust, like, we are fucked. And we still got wrath. Whew. It's crazy. This battle's crazy. Like, the whole witches, all the archbishops are pretty much here. I don't think there's an Archbishop of Pride, but there is. He's here too, is what pretty much Subaru speculated. But like, it is crazy. And yeah, that's the end. I mean, final verdict, if I had to give this one something out of 10, I give it was really good. It was really good. I think I'm gonna give this one a 9. I think I'm gonna give this one a 9. This one did a really good job. I think I'm gonna give it a 9. 8.5 to 9. This was crazy. This one's crazy. But yeah, ReZero Volume 17, man. Fun read. I'm debating, should I? I don't know. So I looked up when the next volume's coming out, and it's coming out February 22nd. So it's not the longest wait, but do I go over to the web novel? Or do I just wait for the volume and keep doing these light novel reviews? I could do web novel reviews as well though, so it's honestly just up to you guys. What do you guys think I should do? Like, I hear the web novel's a little bit different. Maybe I should stick to the light novel. But yeah, I actually just want to know what's the best medium. If the web novel's better, I might read it, because I don't know, the light novel, it's great, but like, I can get through it so much faster if I go to the web novel. So everything has its plus and minuses. I always prefer to have it physically. So yeah, but that's gonna be the end of Just the Heroes Light Novel Corner. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like, comment down below, subscribe for more videos like this one. As always, people, have an awesome day. Just the Hero.